store right now. Yeah, check it out. Yeah, I know what we do. We know what we doing tonight. That's how we tweaking. Bitches be tweaking. Money be calling. Like damn. What I like fight shit. Yeah, fight. Damn, this bitch in my hand, she doing too much. Beam on my hip and it's spraying too much. Like shawty get scared of the gunshots. Damn, shawty, I like it in franchise. She like how I'm moving, I do it a lot. Like assholes come, I let my shawty talk. Damn, you like the way that I walk, you like the way that I talk, assholes still in my fuck. Like me and Battle in the stew. Like you already know what we do. We can take your whole life anytime. You know what we doing tonight. Like band on the shit and we good for the night. Like champagne bottles, we popping all night. Like Casamigos and the lids. Casamigos, yeah, we lit. Fuck.
Casamigo that drunk get me lit. Walk in the party, got everybody lit. Off the Migo, she throwing a fit. Off the Henny, she popping a tip. Send the play, I'm ready blitz. They mad, I know I'm making hits. I know they mad, I'm making pay. Pass that drawn the ties, cause bro wanna wait.
Shorty wanna fuck, it's 2 a.m.
Shorty real fun, I think she brought her friend.
Like she wanna run it back, she wanna do it again.
Shorty real fun, I think she brought her friend.
Like she wanna run it back, she wanna do it again. Me and Twin on the same thing. Shorty wanna come slide through. You already know what to do. She in my body like glue. I'm on all over it too. Fuck. Like we in the party, it's lit. Bad bitches, they popping the tits. You know what we doing, we lit. You get drunk on the island and dead. Bad bitch wanna go on the yacht. Bad bitch wanna go on my spot. Like she fucking with me from the start. And she know what to do when I'm on. Yeah, fuck. Damn, this bitch in my hand, she doing too much. Like me and Battle in the stew. Like you already know what we do. But you take your hoe like anytime. Can take your hoe like anytime.
Another Dr. Bombay production. More hit for the street.
Y'all know who it is. Y'all know who it is. Y'all gonna stop playing with me.
Give it to me.
I gotta say what's up to D-Rail and the conscious clientele. Put the sector on the map, put the sector on his back. Now we got it poppin'. We unlock, we drop it. 12K on Robbie and couldn't get a pussy poppin'. D-Code, fam, HQ. From Arizona to Baltimore, what it do? Bombay, nigga, you got the juice now, for real. I picked the lemon off the tree, now I'm selling juice, for real. Where's the porterhouse? Let's get the beef on the grill. People told me to chill until they witness the skills. It's binary. And yes, I started this troll shit. Wesley TG, y'all remember the classics, binary. Bitch, I'm way above average, got a doctorate and it felt like practice. It's binary, this game is way too easy for me. I manufacture beef just to get through my week, it's binary.
I know you've seen better days, they think about running away. Wanna go back to yesterday, but these 4 MCs gonna show you the way. Stand your ass up, don't run and hide, or lay down like you're dead inside. You're in the groove now, show you right. So roll your spliff, settle in for the night. I know you've seen better days, they think about running away. Wanna go back to yesterday, but these 4 MCs gonna show you the way. Stand your ass up, don't run and hide, or lay down like you're dead inside. You're in the groove now, show you right. So roll your spliff, settle in for the night.
Ooh, keep it together, keep it together, keep it together, keep it together, keep it together. Here we go, 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 here we go. Wake up, 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 wake up. What is up, you two? It's your boy Binary back at you with another live video. Hey, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Happy Monday, party people. Some of y'all are waking up pissed off. Some of y'all are waking up pissed off because you got to take y'all's asses to work on today. The weekend was not long enough. It's like you blink and you open your eyes and it's back to work. We weren't designed for this type of work, you guys. The Lord did not design us for this type of work. We are not even supposed to be like spending as much time confined in buildings the way that we do. We have created our own concrete jungle. We have isolated ourselves not only from ourselves, from one another, you know what I mean? But we have isolated ourselves from nature. Now, don't get me wrong. I cannot be like Nature Boy and all them, especially with the scandals that be going on. And don't get me wrong, I am not trying to reconnect with the mother effing earth. I'm not trying to do any of that shit. All I know is something is off, and I have been programmed, and I have been brainwashed, and I have been conditioned to live the way that I live. But this isn't what I was intended. This isn't how I was intended to live, or you, or any human being for that matter. But here we are, very, very, very civilized. What's up, y'all? Hopefully y'all doing good. Hopefully life is good on your guys' end. Look, somebody sent me something on Instagram, and I guess I made headlines on Lipstick Alley. So shout out to Lipstick Alley for recognizing your boy's hard work. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Lipstick Alley for recognizing my hard work, because I am putting at least a little bit of forethought into my shows. Now, I mean, they could be a rinse, wash, repeat. No, wash, rinse, repeat type of show. But when there's forethought into it, it makes for a better show, even if it's the same damn show. At least you're getting a little bit of different information each mother effing time. So today on the docket, we have a lot to discuss. I know it doesn't seem like a lot because there's only 3 items on the docket, but I mean, these items are so prevalent, well, at least 2 anyways, that I was thinking of having my own mini series. All right. Another mini series, maybe a 2-parter, part 1, part 2, possibly part 3, depending on the information that comes out of these 2. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. When I'm done with the first segment, if I have enough time, if I know I have enough time to jump into the second segment, I will. If not, this will turn into a 1, 2, or possibly a 3-part series. You're damn right. There's that much information. There is that much information. Like, what if I really did give him $330? First off, my wallet is closed. Okay, damn it. What I witnessed last night on over there at the Grove, what I witnessed in Lemon Land, it was disgusting. It was disgusting. Hold on, let me get some coffee. Hold on. Tasty. It's not Kirkland, as y'all could tell. I'm not rambling and talking 8 billion miles per hour. I'm very coherent. My thoughts are clear. I'm not fidgety. It's just regular ass Keurig. I think it's called 8 o'clock coffee. It's still good. It still does the trick, but it's not Kirkland. Let me get some water. Hold on. I'm trying to balance this shit. Hold on. There we go. All right. Yeah. Life is good. Life is good. Life is good. But yeah. What I saw over at Lemon Land, over at the Grove yesterday, it was disgusting. And we go talk about that in a little bit. Now, I didn't finish the live stream. It's hard for me to finish the live stream. I ain't gonna hold you. Whenever I do go to Lemon's platform and listen in and, try to gather intel, you know what I'm saying, to figure out what I'm going to talk about as at least a portion of my show, as I'm doing my due diligence and taking my black ass on over there, I got a good 40 minutes, right? I think I got a good 40 minutes that I can listen in. But outside of that, I rely on clips. Outside of that, I rely on people doing their due diligence as far as, getting their ear hustle on and clips and shit, because I can't, y'all. I can't do it. I cannot do it. You know whose live stream I can actually listen to from start to finish? Sir King. I can listen to his live streams from start to finish. Shout out to Girl by the Mystic. That's my homegirl right there. Outspoken One is here. She just in the clouds. Shout out to you in the clouds. Hello. And y'all better capitalize that S when you're talking to Outspoken. Put some respect on her name as she got me looking at alien videos and shit. Shout out to you. Donna Hughes is here. Shout out to Donna Hughes. Thank you so much for being here. Unbother for real. Unbother for real is here. Shout out to Unbother for real. Good to see you, friend. Thank you so much for being here. Look at CJ up in the building. CJ is a member. Shout out to CJ being a member. You know what I'm saying? CJ being Codification Squad. CJ finding that members link. CJ holding it down. Yo, when the Rennie's in the system, ain't no telling will I diss them. That's what they be yelling. I'm a pimp by blood, not relation. Y'all be chasing, I replace them. Hey, shout out to Rennie. Rennie is here. Good to see you, friend. Diva D is here. Diva D is in the building. Good to see you. Rasta, baby. Rasta, baby. Oh, there's LaDon. LaDon is here. I don't know. LaDon is making her rounds and her waves and her mark in the sector. It is a slow growth type of thing, that's sustaining growth though, LaDon. You don't want to blow up too fast, you know what I mean? Because the shit is not sustainable, right? You don't want some big splash onto the scene because then mother effers start expecting that every damn time and they don't fall in love with your content. They only fall in love with the shock value that your content may bring. If that makes sense, you know what I'm saying? Binary, trinary, thinary. Storylines, what's goody? Thank you so much for being here. Janae, I see you. Oh, shit. That was quick. Oh, wait, Janae, is that not this? Hold on. Is that not this? Hold on. Let me see. Did you snag? Hold on. Did you snag that right? Oh no, that ain't this. Oh, I thought that was this. My bad, Gert. My bad, Janae. I thought that was this. We gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about it. What's up, Miss Margot, aka Miss Lewis? What's going on with you? Hopefully you doing good. Hey, that's no relation to Moski, right? That's no relation to Moski. Is that fire, baby? And that's fire.
Fire, baby. That's fire. That's what I'm talking about.
Would you tremble?
Would you tremble? Look, I'm going to be trembling after this show. I already know. I'm going to be trembling after this show. Would you tremble? Shout out to Dreamy. Shout out to you. Dang, man. Okay. I think I got everybody. Yo, MBK, that's the big homie right there. Good to see you, friend. Thank you so much for being here. Up in here. We went off on our DMX last live stream. You know, we went down that road. All right, I think we good. All right, so sweet. It's going to be a fire show, I think. You know, that's fire, baby. That's fire. Would you tremble? Mosky Lewis is going to be at my doorstep one day. That's why I tread lightly with Mosky Lewis, because you just never know that Negro going to be at the doorstep talking about binary. Would you tremble? Lord Jesus. You got to be careful on these internet streets. You never know who you're talking to. You could be talking to a psychopath. Look, if some of y'all are like me, that means you've watched a lot of true crime on YouTube. The shit just pops up in your feed, you click on it, and now you go down the mother effing rabbit hole, and then you realize you just spent 6 hours watching that shit. And so, you know, you watch these types of shows and episodes and stuff on YouTube. Why don't you think that the Negroes are they're close to you? Like these interrogation videos and true crime videos that we watch, they're not that far away from us. Anybody at any moment can have a psychotic break. And just about every single content creator on YouTube has been privately doxxed. And so your information is just out there. And so somebody like a Rex, if he gets the right amount of push money and stuff like that, can actually show up at your door. So just keep that in mind when you're a content creator threatening to fight everybody. Just saying, just saying, just saying, just saying, just saying. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the first segment because 2 hours feels like a lot of time, but damn it, it's not a lot of time. What if I really gave him $330? I find it interesting that I forgot where I was at. I forgot whose platform, but I just know that I was in the chat and I just dropped down just to say hello to wherever I was at. Hello, people. And Lemon was like, "Oh, Binary's here. What's up, Binary?" And he's upset. And he's like, "Dang, Binary, I see you got my name in the title." And I'm like, "Brother, your name is not in the title." So something that I've been doing lately, especially due to my job, is I don't call people out directly anymore. Now I will occasionally, like Sassy Exposed, but I don't call people out like directly. I'm more of the if the shoe fits. I'm more of the hit dog holla. I'm more of those types as of late. You know what I mean? I used to be more direct, like lemon this or sassy that or whatever it is or whatever that. But I just kind of like to go fishing every once in a while. I'm not a good fisherman though. I'm not. I think I've caught one fish my entire life. God damn. No, you know what? Let me stop. I've caught 3 fish my entire life, and that's because I went to a place called the Rainbow Trout Farm, where it's already been predestined. Your ass is gonna catch a fish, and those fish are gonna cost you a pretty penny. Like you go there, you already catch the fish that they already have set and ready for you to catch. In these big ass ponds or whatever, and then they clean it for you. Shit, they'll even cook the shit for you, but they'll clean it for you, wrap it up for you, send you on your merry way. And for about 3 fish, it's gonna cost you about $110. But I'm paying for the experience. That's Rainbow Trout Farm. Damn it. Not $115 for 3 fish. But we clean it for you. I don't give a damn. It's a lot of money. Shit, man. Fish ain't even that good. What y'all feeding these fish? There ain't no flavor. But anyways, yeah. So there's that. So what if I really did give him $330? And so Lemon started saying, "Hey, Binary, you got my name in your title. I see you don't talk about me again. Hey, brother, don't say nothing stupid." That's pretty much, he was warning me. Like, he's like, "Don't make me drop the receipts. You did give me that money, and I'm very appreciative, and I'm still appreciative, and all that, right?" That goes to show, like, people, they don't really listen. Like, they tune out. They really tune out. And I'm not going to hold you. I have one of those voices that you feel good after you listen to me. I'm sorry. I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm not doing any of that. I'm just keeping it real. After you listen to me, you feel a certain type of way, as if you kind of leveled up, as if you were just a part of a lecture or something, and you got through the lecture, and you feel, you just feel a certain type of way. That's what happens when people listen to me. Now, here's the downside to all of that, is people hardly pay attention, though. You see, I have one of those voices that can get you from this hour to the next hour to the next hour, but you don't retain any of the information hardly. And when I say you, I'm speaking in general, not to you specifically. So cut it out. Stop folding your arms and poking out your bottom lip. You retain information, damn it. Okay, I'm speaking in general. The other yous, not you. Okay. And so, I kind of carry people through the morning. And that, I think that is the allure of the show, right? That it's almost seamless. It's like, okay, I know I'm gonna spend 2 hours with Binary and I'm gonna be ready for the day. Just the energy is there. And that shows me that Lemon just does not listen. I mean, like, he, for whatever reason, he can't fathom the thought that I gave him his own money back. Like, I don't know if he misses that portion of the show. I don't know if I got to send him another Cash App saying, hey brother, yeah, I'm returning back. Like, it just does not register. It does not click. It doesn't. It doesn't. And let me tell you why it doesn't register and it doesn't click. Okay, I'm gonna tell you why. Look at Outspoken with currently unfolding my arms. Damn it, currently unfolding my arms. What up, December baby? What's good? What's good? What's good, Gert? Good to see you, December baby. Y'all. All right. Let me tell you why it doesn't register and it does not click. Because Lemon is a very in the moment content creator. A very in the moment content creator. Lemon is the type, right? Like when you were younger and you would play hide and seek, right? Lemon is the type that, your older sister or older brother goes to the corner and starts counting, right? 1, 2, 3, counting all the way up to 15, getting ready for that ready or not, here I come, right? And you go and you find a dope ass hiding spot, right? Lemon is the type that would hover around your hiding spot and try his hardest to kind of like hide with you in that spot because he realizes that's a good spot, right? And so he gets next to you in the spot and you're like, okay, man, shit, big ass, man, we're gonna get caught, man. Your toes hanging all out of the from behind the curtain and shit. And then you just like, come on, man. All right, okay, fine. If you're gonna be here, you gotta be quiet. Like, you gotta be quiet. And he can't whisper, right? And so your big brother or sister done counting 15, ready or not, here I come. And Lemon's all giggling behind the curtain and shit, making all kinds of noise and shit. And the first people your older brother or sister find is you and Lemon, because Lemon's ass can't shut up, right? So that's Lemon, right? That's Lemon to a T. Like, if you try to run a play with Lemon, you gonna get busted. If you try to depend on Lemon for anything, as far as trying to elevate or do this or do that, or try to plan a show, or say, hey, don't let nobody know, but we gonna plan this show and we just gonna hit them with the element of surprise. No. You just can't do that shit. That's Lemon. Shout out to Malik. Shout out to Cosmic Girl. Shout out to Flying Low. Oh, I thought it was gonna be in a closet. Not an innuendo. Yeah. You go to the closet. No. Let me stop. Because I don't think Lemon's gay. Shout out to the Wanda Woman. Good to see you, the Wanda Woman. And Sandra, did I say hey? Hopefully I did. I think I did. Yeah, shout out to y'all, though. Shout out to y'all. But that's Lemon in a nutshell. Shout out to Yvonne A. You know what I mean? And so when you're dealing, and it's always good to see you, Yvonne A. You already know that, Gert. You already know that. And so it's safe to say, like, you can't really, depend on Lemon to catch things, right? He does, the obvious, like, shut the hell up. We're trying to hide, right? We're trying to win the game, and he's going to continue to whisper and talk and do this and do that, right? I mean, it is what it is. So I can't expect him to pick up on things at all, right? So I can't expect that. That would be dumb of me to expect that. So what I need to really start doing is figuring out the psyche of someone like Lemon. All right, I have to figure out the psyche of someone like Lemon, because one thing that I realized about Lemon, right, is he knows how to start an online relationship / friendship, right? He knows how to start those things. However, he does not know how to sustain them. He knows how to start them. He does not know how to sustain them, and he does not know how to eloquently finish them or end them. It's always got to be toxicity. Toxicity is always in the mix of any of his relationships. Yesterday, though, I found it interesting that once again, I think this is the second time I heard him semi-check Radio Shack. And I'm like, well, damn. Finally, right? He kind of semi-checked Radio Shack by telling him to, I forgot what it was. It was something very, very minor where Lemon was trying to express something or get a point across, and Radio Shack was cutting him off and saying stuff, and Lemon pretty much told him to hold up. Now we know that ain't shit, telling somebody to hold up, let me finish my conversation or let me finish my thought. But when it comes to Lemon and Radio Shack, that's a big deal. And one thing that I thought was pretty interesting is Radio Shack turned docile. Radio Shack, submitted. And Radio Shack was like, oh, my bad, brother, my bad. And it was, it was cool. So shout out to Lemon for actually taking lead in that relationship. I think he's taking lead. He's finally being somewhat assertive in that relationship and not allowing Radio Shack to trample all over his platform. So shout out to Lemon for that. Let's establish a premise, right? Let's establish a premise. Binary, I have told you 4 times to read the Doctor's Opinions in Alcoholics Anonymous big book. I know, but that's a lot of reading. Tag me in the video. That's just a lot. I'm busy, you know what I'm saying? I'm busy, I don't know, man. It's hard to fit things. It's hard to fit extra things in my agenda. You know what I'm saying? I got so much to do. Like as soon as I hang up this live stream right here, I can't even breathe. I can't even blink. Once this is over, it's on to the next one, on to the next one, on to the next one, on to the next one. Yeah, it's crazy how that works. But damn, what was I getting into? Shit. This is why it's important to have notes. This is a freestyle, by the way, you guys. Oh my god. Shit. Oh yeah. Now I got it. Okay, let's go ahead and set the premise, right? Can we set the premise of today's discussion? And we may not get into the Sassy Exposed. I'm telling you, this might be a 2-part or possibly a 3-part series. You just never know. It depends on how this part goes. You see that I'm moving a little bit faster than normal because I actually don't want to make it a series. But if I have to, I will, damn it. All right, so we got to figure out the type of person we are dealing with, right? The type of person we are dealing with is somebody that will violate a friend, quote unquote friend, in order to gain an upper hand for possibly future toxicity and events. Okay, I'm not going all the way back to Vegas, but I do have to skim it a little bit. And here's the reason why. Because Vegas 30.0 is being discussed because Lemoncation is going to be at Vegas. Oh my God. Like, I can't believe it. I mean, at this point, Vegas is probably going to start banning B sector people. Like, at this point, Vegas is getting tired of the B sector at this point. But anyways, Lemoncation is going to be in Vegas, and we already know what happened last time in Vegas, right? The type of person we are discussing right now will go into a laptop and break out his phone and start getting clips and pictures and break out the USB zip drive and put it in the portal. And it's like loading, loading, loading. And he's looking around sweating and shit. Like, hurry up and load. I got to get the information off of this computer. I think he went to take a smoke break. I got about 4 minutes. Do, Inspector Gadget. Do. Boo boo. Almost there. Almost there. Let me get this information. Let me get this information. That's who we are dealing with. We are dealing with somebody that, hey, you want to look like the top dog, like you're spending all of this money. So let me assist you. And let me tell the folk just not the amount of money you gave me, but how appreciative I am of the money you gave me. And let me tell them, man, it was a large amount. I did not expect for Lemon to give me this amount of money. Lemon has been blessing me with Cash App after Cash App. I have not been expecting this. And he's given me so much money for the talent show. Shout out to Lemon. Well, Binary, how much has he given you? Don't worry about it. Just know that it was a hefty amount. Hi, everybody. My name is Lemon. I gave Binary $250. I gave Binary $80. Shout out to Binary. The fuck? Really, bro? Really? Why? Why did you have to share the amount? Why can't we just... That's why I said Lemon is the type that if you're playing hide and seek, he will walk right next to you and try to hide in your space, talking and shit, looking around, looking at you and looking around at the same damn time. I think they're coming. Motherfucker, how you see? What the hell? He's a chameleon in this bitch. He's a chameleon. Negro, what is going on? Let me stop. Let me stop. So that's my issue. Is he's hanging his hat on Binary has given me a lot of money. It must have been one of the, there's no way that's the biggest Cash App. I guess it's the biggest birthday Cash App he's ever gotten, because with the amount of support that he has, you know, I'm pretty positive somebody has sent him $500, $600, $700, maybe even $1,000. I mean, Shakim has received $1,000 Cash App. I mean, Jay Dunn, off the strength of the Umar sector, has received 500 from Triggs. I mean, Dieter goes into super chats dropping, you know, 400, 500. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, yeah. I'm pretty sure $330 is not the most that he's ever seen. Now, I told you guys he is a in the moment type of person. So when that money hit his Cash App and the feeling he received from that, he can't let that go. He can't let that go. Just like the feeling he received when he went into Shakim's laptop and figured some shit out, right? He received a feeling and he could not let that shit go. He couldn't just get the intel, gather the intel, and keep that shit tucked away and locked and tucked away and save it for an extremely rainy day. No, he could not do it. The feeling was so overwhelming about detailed information that he received illegally, hacking into somebody's private property, by the way, which is definitely a crime, hacking into somebody's private property and gaining information to what? Besmirch, slander, and put somebody in a negative light, forcing that person to pretty much disclose information about himself that he probably did not want to disclose at that specific time. But due to the damning information being leaked out, Shakim felt as if he needed to speak on it. So that is the type of person we are dealing with. So let's go ahead and break down some of the traits of this type of person. This is why a relationship with someone like Lemon can turn toxic, right? It's due to anonymity, so there's that, and reduced consequences. And the reason why that is key is because majority of Lemon's relationships are played online. They are played out online. So the anonymity and reduced consequences emboldens these negative behaviors. That's why we see the manipulation. That's why we see the emotional abuse. That's why we see clearly the lack of empathy. Unless the situation is extreme, then there could be a slight form of sympathy / empathy due to death, right? Another reason why his relationships always tend to turn toxic is due to unmet expectations, right? He gets into these online friendships, these online relationships, and he over delivers. Oh no, he oversells and under delivers, right? So there are these unmet expectations. And shame on those that want to quote unquote partner up with him and think that there's going to be some form of equal exchange. As much as we want to be, as much as we want to kind of shame Lolo and kind of, like, damn, Lolo, he's doing you dirty and this or that. I think Lolo realizes the exchange is not fair and it will never be fair. She is bottom totem pole. But just because you're bottom totem pole don't mean you're not of great use. You have to remember, when somebody's holding up a totem pole, they either hold it up from the top, even though the bottom can drag onto the ground depending on how long it is, or they will hold it from the bottom. That means the bottom is getting used more than anything else. They will hold it from the handle. And Lolo is Lemon's handle, not handler. He picks Lolo up and swings his platform like a sword or like a bamboo stick or like some type of weapon with like the handle wrapped at the bottom. Lolo's the handle. Barely seen because the hand is wrapped around it, squeezed tightly, while the sword gets all the glory, while the rest of the totem pole is seen, while the sword in the action thereof is celebrated. Now, it isn't until a keen observer comes through and says, can I see the entire totem pole or can I see the entire sword? And then they take notice of the handle and then they ask, why don't you highlight the handle? Because the grip fits you perfectly. The grip does a lot of things for you. The only real reason you're able to swing the things that you are swinging right now is because of what the grip offers you. And so when that kind of pressure is on Lemon, he's like, okay, here's my handle. Here's a little teapot, short and stout. Here is the handle. Here is the spout. And so then Lolo, with pressure from supporters, with pressure from subscribers, with pressure from chatters, with pressure from observers, starts to get the recognition she actually deserves. And that's why Lemon's relationships are toxic, because of factors like unmet expectations, an extreme power imbalance. And we know that Lemon, whenever pushed into a corner to actually support Lolo, he then uses her platform to fulfill unhealthy emotional needs that will contribute to what? His toxic dynamics. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy how that shit works. All right, so anonymity and distance, right? So the reason why most people, especially a Lemon, can threaten to fight Shakim and threaten to fight anyone, threaten to fight any and everybody, and not only Lemon, but who else gets on here doing the rah rah shish boom ba? I think Radio Shack, just everybody that's ready to fight. We all know that the screen can act like a shield, right? And what that screen acting like a shield does is it allows people to be more aggressive. The first Vegas, not the first Vegas, but I'm talking about the 2.0ers went to, because don't forget there's going to be another Vegas that we get to talk about. So I'm already getting my mind ready to talk about the first, second, whatever, however that plays out. Lemon met talent, right? So Lemon met talent. I think talent is almost talent and drip are almost like the same damn size, right? Like 7 feet and shit. They're the Nephilim, right? In the Bible, the big ass giants and shit, the Nephilim. They are spawns of the Nephilim, right? Big tall ass Negroes, right? And so Lemon being 6'2" and talent being 7 foot, there was a reality check for Lemon. And you can tell there was a reality check. Not only from the sheer height of talent towering over Lemon, which he's not used to, but the way talent, one, carries himself, and the way talent is just it's just his conversation and the way he's able to just drop money. I'm pretty sure talent, being a sensible person, had a budget. Now, you see talent when he went to Vegas, his budget could have been $2,000. And the $2,000 was just to, show Lemon and Ness and whoever met up with them a good time. It wasn't for him to wild out in Vegas and spend money and try to go gambling or anything like that. So that $2,000 was probably just for brunch, lunch, dinner, whatever. And so it wasn't nothing for him to spend $200 on a bottle of wine or champagne or whatever the hell it is that he bought. It wasn't nothing for him to get some caviar. It wasn't nothing for him to leave $100 tip. That wasn't nothing because he was smart enough to have a budget. Now, Talent's $2,000 budget is equivalent to our $200 budget. So if I budget to go eating at a restaurant $200 on a date for me and my wife, I'm sorry, y'all. I feel like I'm balling. I don't give a damn what y'all say. I don't care what y'all. $200, this Negro cheap. I don't care what y'all say. If I'm budgeting $200 from my wife and my ass to go out and eat, damn it, I'm rich. I don't give a damn. I don't care. So my $200 is equivalent to Talent's $2,000. So he didn't really give a damn. I mean, it's a lot of money, but he's like, yeah, this is what I can budget. This is what I'm going to do. And so I'm saying all that to say this. Face to face, Lemon crumbled underneath the shadow of Talent. The screen, it stops all that. It stops all that. You see, the difference between me online and me in person is I'm not larger than life as far as my stature is concerned. However, when you are around me in real life, you can tell a difference because the way that I speak online, it intensifies and escalates all the more if I speak to you in real life. My speech doesn't lessen, it actually grows when I speak to you in real life. I am great at having dope ass conversations in real life. Like, that's just something I do. That's something I'm really, really, really good at, is having conversation. I'm really, really good at that. And so if you ever meet me in real life, you will see that we're not just going to stand around and you're not just going to be like, no, we're going to actually be having conversations. And just like Paul in the Bible, I can become all things to all people. Like, I could do that. I know how to shift. I really do. So let's get into the unmet expectations and the power dynamics. Let's jump into that, because what I really want you guys to focus on is his relationship with Lolo, Tracy, Ness, Radio Shack. So just funnel through those four, and then what he had with myself, Ghetto, Shakim. So that's what, 7. So kind of funnel through those as we talk. So his friendships, they became toxic because he constantly demands attention or support without giving that same level of attention and support in return. And so when he does that, he creates a power imbalance. And if your name is not Lolo, you become affected by it. Now, you may not speak on it, verbally, but you are feeling the imbalance. You're feeling it. I mean, it's as clear as day. You can see that as clear as day when you look at the dynamics between Radio Shack and Lemon and how they got to this point of Radio Shack finally bending the knee. So shout out to Lemon for his persistence and perseverance in dealing with all things Radio Shack, as far as Radio Shack's ignorance in the beginning. Because now Radio Shack is doing what Lemon wants him to do, which is bending the knee. Radio Shack realizes that a lot of his support comes from the Grove. A lot of his support comes from Lemon Land. And so he knows not to fracture that relationship. And so now Lemon is slowly but surely starting to talk to Radio Shack any kind of way. But Radio Shack in the beginning, he felt the power imbalance, and he thought that his splash onto the B sector scene, which we all tried to warn him, Negro, that shit ain't real. You're just new. That's all this is. You're just new, bro. Like, we all tried to warn him, but he thought his splash on the beef sector scene made him beef sector king. And he thought he was on the same playing field, level playing field as Lemon, but he has now realized he's not. That's why there was so much, how can I put this? There was so much attitude from Radio Shack in the beginning towards Lemon. And and so many empty threats of I don't have to come back over here or this or that. Don't forget the first time he challenged Lemon was on a community wall. You know, you're saying this and that. I mean, it was just so much because he felt the power imbalance. But now he realizes, oh shit, yeah. See, let me put it this way. When you first come in contact with Lemon, you just think that he's an idiot. You think that he's an idiot, he don't know nothing, that they're just gassing this man up, that if people realize that I'm quote unquote better than Lemon, I speak better than Lemon, I have a better format than Lemon, then his people will become my people because they're going to realize just how shallow Lemon is. That's what you initially get when dealing with Lemon. But then after a period of time, you realize, no. He's not shallow. He's not an idiot. He is well received. There is a huge difference. Lemon is well received. Lemon has the power to be himself. That is, you know, goofy, serious. He thinks he's a sex symbol. Whatever it is that he thinks, he is well received. And so he has the power to be himself. You see, a lot of people, when they come into this space, they are not themselves. I have always been myself. I was not well received at first. I'm becoming well received. I am by no means on Lemon's level as far as being received by the beef sector or you know, the black sector or anything like that, the Mo3 sector or anything like that. I am nowhere on Lemon's level. However, I have always been myself, right? You see, Radio Shack has finally started transforming into his own. And he's realizing, oh shit, they don't prefer me over Lemon. He's starting to realize that shit. Like all the antics that I did, you know, trolling after Jay Dunn and doing this stuff with Ken and doing all this with Kima and you know, Queen 88. All these antics led up to nothing. All of those antics led up to no real depth of YouTube relationships. And all that led up to nothing. But guess what? When things start to normalize in Radio Shack's life, now that things are starting to normalize, he is now Team Lemon. Radio Shack, it was a rough transition, but he is definitely a Lemonaire right now. I mean, it's just as clear as day. And shout out to him. So the power imbalance, it used to frustrate Radio Shack, but now he allows it to happen. And I seen it last night. So if anybody wants to challenge me on that, I seen it last night when Lemon pretty much told him to shut the hell up. And he obliged. I mean, I seen it. You can't tell me nothing. 2 months ago, if Lemon would have told him to shut the hell up, he would have been arguing. Not now. One thing that we also have to realize when it comes to, damn, what if I really would have gave him $330? That's what we're talking about. In online relationships becoming extremely toxic, relationships/friendships becoming extremely toxic, is his emotional needs. Lemon has a lot of undealt with trauma, and he has a lot of emotional needs, and YouTube is a form of a coping mechanism. We have to remember that. It's a form of a coping mechanism. So without this, he would not be able to function the little bit that he does function in normal society. Without YouTube, he would be a total menace. So his emotional needs in a form of coping mechanism is met online. So what he does is he turns to these online relationships and friendships to cope with trauma, anxiety, and we've beat this at, we have spoke about this ad nauseum, but it's only right for me to say it. Fear of abandonment. He turns to these online he turns to these online relationships and friendships to support his emotional needs, to be a coping mechanism to for trauma, anxiety, and fear of abandonment. I mean, it's so easy to spot. Now, if our dumbasses, because I'm guilty of this, right? I had a lot of bad things happen in my life, and I turned to YouTube as some type of therapy. And what people did was take those situations, run with it, and tried to bury me in the ground. And then I learned my lesson, like, oh shit, you can't do that. I came to YouTube thinking, oh, I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna give them the real. They're gonna appreciate the authenticity, all that shit. Damn, was I wrong, right? Was I wrong? Damn, I was wrong. and so if you use YouTube as some form of coping mechanism, therapy, getting shit off your chest, blase blah, whoop de whoop, if that's what you're using YouTube for, trust me, it is going to transform you into one of the most toxic people on social media. Because YouTube, Instagram, Discord, any of those social media platforms, if you are using that as a coping mechanism, those are unhealthy methods of dealing with trauma, anxiety, and abandonment. Don't use Discord, Instagram, YouTube, Kick, Twitch. Don't use these Facebook. Don't use these MySpace, damn it. SoundClick. Don't use those things as coping mechanisms because they're unhealthy. And that's why Lemon is as toxic as he is, and he does not know any other way because YouTube is his psychiatrist. God damn. I am not in the chat. If you guys showed up and I didn't shout you out, shout out to you. Forgive me. Y'all know that when I get into this type of bag, I don't look at the chat because I don't want it to interfere with the information, right? Because at the end of the day, the information is what's important. So I don't want it to interfere with the information. So shout out to you if you're in the chat. I will get in the chat as we transition. But let me go ahead and finish this first portion of the docket. Another thing that we have to look out for as I touch on, what if I really did give him $330?
Oh, what do you mean? I got the bread, bro. It's from Binary to Lemon. Happy birthday. 330. I got the receipts.
Lord Jesus, help me. What if I really did give him $330? What would that have bought me? Maybe a lack of accountability on his part. This dude faces zero accountability. It is obvious to everyone that he was trying to silence Sharika's boyfriend, and RIP to Sharika. He was trying to silence Sharika's boyfriend. He really did go through Shakim shit. He is the one that set up all the TSW stuff. I was just, I guess, following orders as the talent show manager. He's the one that said he wanted 500 in the beginning, and then he wanted 500 at the end. He's the one that said we needed to ask her TSW for that money. He got very little backlash for that shit. I got almost the full brunt of it. Why? Because Lemon and his ways are well received, damn it. They're well received. Now, the reason why lack of accountability is so huge on Lemon's side is because he can easily just do away with you. The nature of his platform, the nature of how he gives it up online, he can easily do away with you and try his hardest to go find a replacement quick, fast, and in a hurry. Shout out to Baby Q. And so, because of that, he does not really find it too necessary to seek forgiveness as he's trying to move on. However, let me just tell you, initially, he does not try to seek forgiveness. But his formula of going and finding the next great thing to talk about or the next great person to infiltrate their community and to sift their chatters, when that doesn't hit, he is quick to forgive. Let's not forget, Just Krista put a jacket on him and said that he was touching his underage niece, only for Just Krista to have a prominent part of his show even after that. And now they have disconnected, but they're still kind of kicking it. I mean, we can see that. Yeah, on different platforms and stuff like that, but they're still kind of hanging. Like, you can see it. We're not fooled. But I mean, at one time, Resto and Lemon, it was always up and it was always stuck. And I think it's still like that for Resto, but I think Lemon has finally moved on, and he's using Sharika Chicago as the reason why he can reconcile with Resto. RIP to my homegirl. For a spell there, he could not stand Ness, as Ness was going in telling the truth about him in Vegas and things like that. But now, he's going to Nesscation and he's paying for Ness to come to Vegas. I mean, it's interesting how that works. That's because when 90% of your life, no, my bad, we're talking about Lemon. When 95% of your life is consumed by social media, your relationships, which are primarily online, they go up and down, left and right. It's just, it is what it is. Lemon can consistently get about 400 to 600 people in his chat. That's appealing, right? That's appealing. That could be one of the main reasons why Lolo is there. I'm curious how long Lolo would hang out with 40 in Lemon's chat. 30 maybe. I'm curious. Maybe, maybe she will be there for the, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours with 30 in the chat. I don't know. But that's not the case. Reality is, he consistently gets about between 400 and 600 consistently. And out of that 400 and 600, I would say about 100 maybe people are active chatters, right? The rest are in the clouds or on the panel. And the cool thing about Lemon's platform is he does allow for people in the chat. Well, he allows for it, but sometimes his moderators can be a little wonky. But he does allow for people to speak their speech in the chat. Now, if you get on the panel and you're kind of speaking against what Lemon has to say, like a Pizarro, she's pretty good at that. That's when he gets really, really upset, because he's expecting at least the people on the panel to form some type of echo chamber, some type of group think. He's trying to get his viewpoints in for people to agree with him, and that's when a lot of the bitches go flying. I don't know if you haven't noticed, but if you don't agree 100% with him, all of a sudden the bitches come flying. And most of the time, people within the beef sector, they suspend reality most of the time. I'm going to say majority of the people in the beef sector suspend reality and they go to la la land, right? You go to the land of delusion. You go to the land where logic is illogic and illogic is logic. Like, you just go to that land because that's how you survive in an ignorant ass sector, right? And so but people can only suspend reality for short periods of time because they're rational people, right? But Lemon, on the other hand, his reality is just suspended only because he lives a huge portion of his life online. Y'all cannot forget that. We are not created equal. You don't spend majority of your life online. This dude has hours upon hours, 7, 8, 9, 10. Don't forget, 12 hours is half of your mother effing day. That's why StreamYard puts a cap on that shit. Look, after 12 hours, go wash your ass. We ain't even going to allow the live stream to go on after 12 hours. You just going to be talking and we ain't recording shit. That's StreamYard telling Negroes to go wash their ass. Because if StreamYard didn't put that shit in there, people would be live 48 hours stanking. It could be like Miss Thang. Shit, it's Monday. I don't got to take a shower anyway. Shit. I'm going to be on this bitch. Stanking, right? Just stanking. Smelling like, no, let me stop. And so with the groupthink, with the echo chamber, what tends to happen is a lot of his panelists, they can't carry on the facade long enough, right? And so they start to break character and they start to allow logic and rational thinking creep into their psyche. And then they start trying to explain to Lemon why he's off on certain topics, why he's off on certain things, what he's not remembering, this and that. And because of that disagreement, now they are a bag of bitches. I'm telling you, look it up. When Lemon goes off on people, it's because those people refuse, at least for those moments, to suspend reality. What if I really would have gave him that $330? How much manipulation and control? I mean, let's just look at what's happening now. With him actually thinking that was my money, right? What we have to do is figure out this dynamic centered on control rather than respect, right? Rather than respect. Had I have sent him that real money, he initially tried to mask his unappreciative nature. Let me finish this. His unappreciative nature with respect for me. Lemon is one of those that does not appreciate big, kind gestures his way fully. He always has to do a compare and contrast. So had I have given him that money for real, what he did was minimize my efforts of giving him that bread by comparing it to those that did not give him money. And he harped on the fact that people did not give him the amount that I, quote unquote, gave him, had I have truly given him that money. So look at me as a person, as an online friend to Lemon, that, let's just suspend our reality, that has given him that amount of money, and look at the return in my investment. The return of my investment is, I'm very appreciative that you gave me that, but there's some other fucking niggas that don't give me that. And binary, I will go off on you, but because you did that, I'm just trying to get you guys to think. We all know where that money came from. But what if I did give him my hard-earned bread for real? That's the type of person we are dealing with. Another thing that we're dealing with before we move on to the second portion of our docket, and it looks like we're going to be able to get through just the two portions. We're not going to be able to get to the hoodie portion, and the hoodie portion was not going to be bad. I was just really pretty much going to shout him out because Hoodie has transformed his whole entire life, and he has become a comedian, like a real stand-up comedian. Like, you could catch his ass online, you could catch him like really doing stand-up, and he's getting better and better each time. Like, every time he goes live, he's doing better. He went into a competition, got second place in the competition. He's really doing his thing. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to compare Hood Conservative, not Hoodie Reacts, but Hood Conservative with Sell U Lite, and see, like, is Sell U Lite where Hoodie was trying to be until the universe course corrected Hoodie and put him on a completely different path. I thought that was pretty cool to witness, and that's what I was going to talk about, but I already know we're not going to have time to talk about that. Okay, so let's finish off this first portion of the docket, right? What if I really would have gave him the money? We have to remember that if 95% of this dude's living, like his relationship, if 95, look at Hoodie. I'm not even in the chat, but I just glanced down at my phone and I saw Hoodie. Shout out to you, big dog. Shout out to you, Hoodie. All right. Okay. All right, here we go. Okay. So if 95%, right? If 95% of Lemon's relationships are spent online, which we know this shit is true. We get the other 5% from his neighborhood and from his mama and from his dog, right? That's just 5% of that man's life. 95% of his life is spent online. His friends are online, right? His friends are online. I mean, it's as clear as day. It's easy to see. It's easy to see. You don't have to be delusional to actually see that shit. You know what I mean? That shit is easy. So what tends to happen is we get a very vulnerable Lemon, which is why he's crying a lot now. Have y'all noticed that? Like, he's crying a lot because he is so comfortable with his position in life as far as social media is concerned that we get that vulnerability. I don't know how to say the word. Vulnerability. There it is. Vulnerability from him. But he uses that to exploit. We're dealing with somebody that is extremely lonely. You can tell he's extremely lonely because there was a woman that has Asperger's syndrome that came out of her son's apartment that Lemon hardly knows. He stops her and has a full-on 2-hour conversation with the lady. And she ain't gonna remember shit after about 30 minutes. Oversharing all kinds of personal information online. We know too much about Lemon. The cyber aggression starts to peak. We see a lot of that shit. That's due to him, his vulnerability, and exploitation. The cyber aggression begins to peak. Now, check this out. Not only towards his ops, but towards his so-called friends. You see, what if I really did give Lemon $330? That would have been the worst online investment that I have ever made, ever. Don't forget, we have Lemon saying that after this, he's going to show the receipt again just so that everybody knows I gave him $330. And when he does that, all you guys have to do is do the face palm emoji and say, Negro, really? What they talking about? Ain't talking about none. What they talking about? Ain't talking about none. What they talking about? Ain't talking about none. Huh? That's why I'm glad I did not give him $330. So now that we have recognized what a toxic relationship / friendship looks like, well, how do we go about this? Because now you feel a loss of your sense of self in a relationship when you're like, let's just think about Lolo, damn it. Ghetto is fighting this very thing. Man escaped. Sour Patch is up and down. Beans and cornbread threw up the deuces. Because when you're in that type of relationship, you start to lose a sense of yourself because of the power dynamic. Because that one person who is Lemon consistently dominates or controls every dynamic of the relationship. In that toxicity type of relationship that Lemon offers to those online, you will be asked to give more. Let's jump into some Umar Johnson. You will be asked by Lemon to give some more and some more and some more. More attention, more resources. Just more. I'm not going to hold you. Whenever I would be on Lemon's platform for an extended amount of time, especially during the talent show era, I always felt emotionally and mentally exhausted when I got off of his platform. Almost as if the life was being sucked out of me. And also the kindness was being sucked out of me. And it was like I was being morphed into this blob, this zombie blob of ignorance. And here's the final thing. Lemon's online relationships or friendships are solely used to bring a sense of reality to his life, feeding an ego, because we all know he does not know how to participate in ego death and grow even more than what he is now. So he's actually participating in ego growth. So he's feeding an ego. And he's using the platform in his relationships to cope with unresolved issues. All right, so that was the first segment of what if I really gave him $330? I would be ass backwards. I would be down in investment. I would not get good on my return. It is what it is. Let me say what's up to those in the chat. What up, Blue? What up, Monique? What up, Trini? What's up, Gert? Happy late belated birthday to you, Informant Sugar. Good to see you, Grish. Diddy Love is in the building. Look at the folks. Shake and Bake is here. Interesting how the other CCs reacted to hear. Did you? Yeah. Big time pissed. What up, Shakamra? What up, Resto Chesto? There's twin right there. She ain't gonna remember shit after 30 minutes. Facts. What up, Too Much? What up, Crafty? We already know Crafty is yeah. Let me not even go there. I want to be on Crafty's good side. You know what I'm saying? Because Crafty be talking some shit. Did I say what's up to Too Much? Shout out to Hoodie. Shout out to Come Pillow Talk with Bay. That's my friend. Heavy Bear. The people are here. Thank y'all so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. Bush Baby is here. Focus here. All right. So Beans and Cornbread is here. Yup. Bertha May. Hey, Bertha May. Shout out to you. Oh, man, Bertha May. Good Lord. You toxic as all get out. Kimberly Black is here. Everything in these alleged sectors are transactional. Those are facts. CEO, little boss lady. What's goody? Those are the peoples. If I missed you, forgive me. If I missed you, forgive me. Please. Oh, man. We got money. The woman got money. Thank you so much, Ivane. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everybody. Now, I'm not going to hold you. I was thinking like, damn, Binary, do you really want to do this segment? Do you really? What up, Too Big? Good to see you, big dog. What up, Patricia? Do you really want to do this segment? Ooh, not the government Section 8 department. Damn. They on limit arse. I was debating because Sassy has definitely been exposed, right? And for whatever reason, Sassy don't like me. That's okay, fine. You don't like me. All right. Okay, who cares, right? I really don't care. But this has made headline news, right? So Sassy's pictures have been leaked or whatever. Glitter Boots, aka the Dirty Coyote, aka Grandpa Joe, did a show on it. And they talked about, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. That is true, right? So I'm not gonna get all into how she looks and things like that. But she has been exposed. Okay. I did want to troll a little bit, but my respect level for talent has went through the roof. So I'm not going to do that. Shout out to talent. But I did want to, okay, I'm going to be a little bit messy. Let me, this might have to go on private. Not private, but at least members only, maybe. Let me be a little messy. Before we jump into this, let me get some coffee. Oh shit, let me get some coffee. Oh my god, yeah, girl by the mystic. Shout out to Sassy. What up, Roxy? Had to chase that with some water. What up, Sherry Reese? Good to see you. Too many plays and lies. Okay, here we go. Answer this to yourselves, okay? Don't answer this in the chat. Just answer this to yourselves. I'm not going to do a poll. I'm not going to do any of that. Now, watch how messy y'all are. I'm saying answer this to yourselves. Don't answer the chat. Watch how many people answer the chat, Lord Jesus. Okay. Here we go. Now that Sassy has been exposed, who ended the relationship? Sassy or talent? God damn. Having information changes your perspective of a lot of shit. And December, baby, yeah, Sassy is beautiful. She's a beautiful woman. Just says Sassy has her pick. Yeah. Look at y'all trifling asses answering and shit. Y'all ain't shit. Y'all ain't shit. Oh, damn. All right. Okay, guys, I only have what? Oh, shit. I only have like 35 minutes. Damn, I'm going to be able to do this. Damn it. See, this is why I know my black ass should have did a 2-part series, damn it, and then just slow down. Oh, man. Okay. Got to get through this, y'all. Here we go. What up, Simone? What's goody? Not talent ran for his life. Let's talk about it. Boom. Shout out to Sassy, right? Shout out to Olivia Pope. Shout out to Sassy. This is what we're going to talk about. Let's talk about the psychological effects of your personality exuding from an avatar. Okay, the psychological effects of your real psyche, the psychological effects of your mind and the way in which you think when you are performing tasks, whether it's conversational task or real life task or whatever, but you're doing so behind an avatar. The psychology of being behind an avatar, it involves a complex interplay between identity formation, you guys, perception, and behavior that is influenced by these social media platforms. I don't know how to say this phenomena correctly. I should have like did one of those, like, it's called the Proteus effect. But I think that's how you say it, the Proteus effect. I could be saying it wrong. And the disinhibition effect as well. The Proteus effect and the online disinhibition effect, those explain how an avatar will change the way a person interacts with others, and an avatar will actually change how one senses one's self. God damn. The Proteus effect, I'm probably saying it wrong. Break it down for me in the chat if I'm saying it wrong. But it describes how a user's behavior conforms to the characteristics of their avatar. Studies have been done and have been found that users assigned taller, more attractive avatars, users that have taller, more attractive avatars, they behave and become more confident and assertive in their virtual environments. God damn. Shit. Now listen to this, because this is the actual effect. The Proteus effect. Listen to this. Because they become more confident and assertive in their virtual environment, when they leave that environment, initially, wherever they are at in real life, it initially transfers into their real life. So their face-to-face real life interactions transfer. No, I'm sorry. So their virtual experience of using an avatar that transforms their psyche transfers initially into their face-to-face interactions for a spell. That's crazy to me. When I read about that, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. It's almost as if these avatars give people confidence to live out their lives like their real lives. And it's almost as if they have to come back to the well and get the water out of the well, which is these avatars, sip on that living water in order to function how they think they need to function in real life. And so that is a merger of sorts from online to real life. And so there is an effect called the avatar self merging effect. That is why some of these women, their voices or whatever, you fall in love with their voices, you match it with the avatar. But then when you see them, it's like everything has been suspended. Like your thoughts of that person, your reality bubble has been popped because your reality bubble was fantasy land. And when you realize that your reality was fantasy and that bubble is popped, it is hard to go back to fantasy. Okay, let me overshare real quick. Before we jump into avatar and self merging. Let me overshare. There was a time in my younger years, let me just preface it like that. I mean, a long ass time ago, and I was young, right? An older lady. Now, as far as attraction is concerned, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And I'm going to tell you, my younger self, I did not think that this older lady was beautiful. I just didn't. Okay. All right. But this older lady just kept on talking to me. Very, very, very sexually, right? And she would whisper things in my ear, and she would talk to me, and she would tell me all of the things that she would do with my little arse. I did not think that this woman was attractive at all, right? But the more and more she kept talking to me and talking to me and talking to me, the more and more I wanted her to try those things out. Come on, I was young. And so I find myself alone with this lady. And this lady starts to do things. My eyes are closed. I am thinking of all kinds of things while my eyes are closed and this woman is doing things. Taking advantage of a young man, I'll tell you that right now. But my eyes were closed. As long as my eyes were closed, I was in heaven. As long as my eyes were closed, it was fantasy. But every once in a while, my dumbass would open my eyes. And when my eyes would open, the fantasy bubble would get popped and reality would set in of what's really taking place. All that to say this. When it was over, on my end, there was pretending going on. I don't know about her end, but on my end, when it was over, it's because I pretended, damn it. Because when I kept opening my eyes and my fantasy was gone and reality had to set in, I just couldn't get back into fantasy mode. I couldn't do it. I couldn't. Now that my eyes have been exposed to the truth, I couldn't do it. And the only thing that I could do was end the time that I had with the lady. So I'm saying all that to say this. It feels like a scandal. It feels like a scandal. You guys are not lying when you say that Sassy is not, she's not ugly. She's not. But damn it, shit just ain't adding up. I can't quite put my finger on it, but it's not adding up in my mind. Nothing connects anymore. When I see Sassy on panels, when I see the avatar, when I see all those things, when she starts to talk and stuff like that, it just does not connect anymore. Let me see. Avatar self merging. So this process, it describes how a user of an avatar comes to integrate their avatar into their sense of self. We can all view Olivia Pope, Kerry Washington, as we can see it as bougie. We can see the type of lifestyle that the character and more than likely the actress lives, right? And so what we tend to do is we transfer those thoughts onto a Sassy, right? Now, this is where I need to be kind of checked, right? Because why can't I fathom the idea that Sassy could still be bougie? I don't know why my mind will not allow me to go there. Sassy could still be one of the most bougiest people within the sector. She could still exude that level of personality, feelings, I don't know, bouginess, I don't know what to call it. That can still be happening in her real life. However, for whatever reason in my mind, it does not connect. I can't remember who it was, but last night Sassy went off on somebody. I forgot who it was, but damn it, she was going off. But the shit just didn't hit. It did not hit. That's why I am so glad that I don't hide behind avatars, because if I had a camera slip, y'all be like, oh, that's binary. I don't give a damn. There's pictures everywhere, damn it. Another thing about this phenomena of the psychology behind an avatar, and we'll get back. No, let me finish this portion, right? Of avatar self-merging, and then I'll go off track for a second, and then I'll get right back to it. So they integrate themselves into the avatar to give them a sense of self. So it's not this all or nothing process, but it's a continuum. It's a continuum that is influenced by factors such as control and oh my God, perspective taking, control and perspective taking. Sassy has gotten away with being sassy for so long with an avatar that doesn't truly represent her real being as far as features are concerned, right? The avatar and the personality and all those things could possibly represent who she is spiritually on a metaphysical level, right? But we're not getting that deep because we're shallow over here, right? So but it does not quite match the physical in my mind. I don't know why I can't get past it. It does not match to me. So the merging, it gives her this greater sense of personality and behavioral change. One, because nobody knows what she really looks like before the expose. Nobody really knew. And so she was able to get away with sort of, this idea of Olivia Pope, of Scandal. Just having that kind of sense. Let us not forget, Caesar salad, eat healthy. Let us not forget, Romaine, eat healthy. That she did, Chat Rep did do some pretty illegal shit, right? Recording her against her consent, recording Sassy against her consent and posting that shit online. Now, if they were out in public, there's no expectation of privacy in public, but they were in a whole damn private ass restaurant. And so we got a glimmer, right? But we didn't have enough. But we got a glimmer of, oh wow, okay, okay, Sassy. But now that we have a good look of Sassy, how are we going to go about this? And that's why I wanted to do this segment, to figure out how we're going to go about this. Now, before I move into more of this, I want to talk about, the psychology behind an avatar. There was a guy in the Umar Johnson sector. He went by the name of RNT TV or some shit like that. Or drama, right? He might even be in the clouds right now listening to my black ass. He talks primarily about sports now. But what Drama would do was he would take a lot of Jamie Foxx avatars, especially Django Unchained. And he would take a lot of those types of avatars, and you could get his personality through those avatars. And so when you thought of RNT, and when you thought of Drama, when you thought of him, you would have that Django Unchained. You would have that Jamie Foxx with the big ass cigarette thing coming out of his mouth. You would have that, right? You would just have those images. Now Drama messed up, right? Drama was sharing his screen, right? He was sharing his screen, and Google did a security check. And when Google did their security check, like, hey, if you want this, log into this device, and then we'll send you a passcode or whatever, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. Drama forgot to stop share on his screen, right? And so the shit kind of pops up. And so now everybody has his email address and his whole damn government, right? And so his whole damn government is out there now. And so you already know the trolls in the Umar Johnson sector and those that did not like Drama immediately found this dude, right? And I'm talking, it didn't take 4.5 seconds, 4.5 seconds to have troll accounts, avatars, pages, all kinds of shit of Drama in his real name and his real image, right? Come to find out, Drama has a big ass mole on his forehead or some shit, or his eye or some shit. And I think he has a stubby arm or some shit. And I think there was just something, he didn't match his avatar at all. It wasn't even close, right? Yeah. This shit wasn't even close. Oh shit, hold on. Hold on. This is why my black ass needs to be in the chat. Oh shit, money is coming through. YTC's Lemon Recap channel. This show is so much better than YTC's Lemon Recap show. The only problem, YTC's Lemon Recap channel, is I'm very, very limited for time, right? So that's the only problem. You know what I'm saying? So, damn, I wish I had more time. Them Slick is in the building. I think Grandpa Joe is here. Let's go. Hey, shout out to the homeboy ZX. He is here. People got upset with me for having a dope ass show with Grandpa Joe on it. I mean, damn, he's doing it. Man, Miss Wana is here. Look at the focus here. Reality Check is here. Blessed One is here. People are here. Thank y'all so much for being here. Seriously. But I got to get back into this because I am running out of time. All right, Teasing You is here. Shout out to Teasing You. So let me jump back into this shit real quick. What? Oh, look at Eyes. Look at Eyes. Hey, shout out to you, Eyes. Okay, now. Okay. Shout out to Eyes now. Appreciate you. Where the money reside. All right, here we go. Let me jump right back into it because I'm running out of time. But yeah, so drama ended up not like, and so it just did not match anymore. He had like Darth Vader avatars. He had the Django Unchained avatar. Like everything that he did, it just did not match. It's the Wizard of Oz, syndrome, right? We're off to see the wizard. And then you remove the curtain and, it's a little person, right? This big, loud, booming voice was all a machine and it's actually a little person, right? So that's kind of what we're kind of getting right now. We're getting the Wizard of Oz effect, unfortunately. Okay. But back to it. I mean, we have, when I entered into the beefing sector, Sassy was on hiatus. She was on a break, right? And so she comes back, and I'm not going to lie, I was captivated by her voice and personality. Captivated. I was like, wow, this person really does sip her water with her pinky finger in the air. Like, I was captivated. This is a person that just, I mean, man. It was so shocking when Sassy was exposed. It was to the point to where I used to watch the Pink Kitchen. Shout out to Uppity, right? I would watch the Pink Kitchen and I would be like, this is so cute. What Uppity got going on? You know what I mean? The appliances, the kitchen, the cooking, the twerking, the teeth, all that is cute. What she got going on. Until she was mobbing around outside of the kitchen and mobbing around her house, and we saw the filth, right? Now, I don't know if it was a camera slip. She didn't know her camera was on as she's mobbing around her house in the filth, right? Now, come on, man. Give her a chance to clean up, man. Baby girl probably, went ham and I mean, shit happens. You just never know. But all I know is that's not the Pink Kitchen. So we got to see a glimpse of how Uppity truly lives, and it changes your perception. That's all I'm saying about Sassy. We got a glimpse from Chat Rep, and then we got a full-on scale from somebody else. And so now the two just aren't adding up for me. Now, for some of you, y'all can reconcile the two. I can't. And I know probably what Sassy's thinking right now. She may be in the clouds. I know what she's thinking. She don't give a damn. Binary, I don't care about your opinion. I don't give a damn what you think of me. I'm going to be unapologetically me. And that's good for you. And I'm glad you don't give a damn what I'm talking about because I'm going to continue to speak on it, right? So I'm glad you don't give a damn. All right, so back to it. Back to it. So the online disinhibition. Oh my God, I cannot talk right now. I cannot talk. Disinhibition. 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 Lord Jesus, help me. The online disinhibition effect. Okay, this is a phenomena that explains why people act differently online than they would in person. If y'all couldn't tell, when Chat Rep met Sheffy, oh my God, when Chat Rep met Sassy, that Chat Rep felt more bougie than Sassy. I'm pretty sure now that you rewind the tape in your mind, you can see that. Disinhibition, the disinhibition effect is what propelled and compelled and gave Chat Rep the impulse that she could not control to capture the moment. I'm just giving y'all some game. Have you ever sat back and really thought, why was Sheffy, Chat Rep, so hard pressed to capture that moment and try her hardest to expose Sassy? The reason why is because of the disinhibition effect, which explains why people act differently online than they would in person. Sassy wasn't bougie. Sassy was not bougie. Sassy was a regular ass person. The anonymity and the perceived lack of social media consequences, all that shit has went away because that was facilitated, damn it if I could talk, by an avatar. So in real life, all that shit went away. So the aggression, the all of that stuff that she could use in the philosophical talks, in the use of better language, and all of that shit that is at her disposal when she's Olivia Pope, all that shit went away. So that's the toxic disinhibition. And there's the benign disinhibition. It allows for a greater self-disclosure in emotional expression, which can foster stronger social connections. That's the benign. All of that shit came to a head when she met up with Chat Rep. Did Sassy think that her pretend level of bouginess could fool Sheffy? Did Sassy think that by the way she kinda carries herself, because I'm gonna go on a limb and say the Sassy Sheffy met was Sassy trying her hardest to be online Sassy. But online Sassy in real life Sassy, they are so disconnected that she could not merge the two together good enough in real life. I'm telling you right now, The reason why Chat Rep was compelled to try to quote unquote expose Sassy is because Chat Rep in real life felt the disconnect between avatar and real life. There's no way that Sassy felt that with Chat Rep, because Chat Rep does not hide behind avatars. So identification versus differentiation. People that use avatars and create personalities based off of their avatars, they have, believe it or not, a complex relationship with their avatars. Their avatars is almost a gateway into social media. Ain't that some shit? Their avatars is like a gateway leading into social media. So when they click on YouTube and they click on a live stream, right? They go to their page or they go to their subscriber type page, but they're in it and they see their name and they see their avatar and then they click into a live stream. That is the gateway. Especially when you live behind an avatar. And then when they click on the StreamYard link or the link to get onto a panel, StreamYard, you have to go through a setup process every single time you click to get on a panel. You know, activate your camera if you want, activate your mic, turn your camera off, select your avatar. And so unfortunately for people like a Sassy, she will select her avatar and get into that mode. They have their own complex relationship with their avatar. Identifying strongly, relying heavily on that to be the gateway into conversations, personalities, attitudes, and even the way they roast, gag, and drag. It's insane. There's so much more that I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about the real versus the ideal self. I wanted to talk about the embodiment and realism. I wanted to talk about just the entire social context of things. And I also wanted to, you know what, let me go ahead and round this out because I got about 5 more minutes. So I had to skip over everything that I just named. And let's go ahead and end this with the potential psychological effects. There's a lot of identity exploration when dealing with avatars and living your life behind them. Okay. There is a lot of, and that's my real picture right there, by the way. There's a lot of identity exploration. You got to remember that people, when they have the ability to customize an avatar, it genuinely allows for a very creative self-expression. They get to suspend reality and pretty much become whoever it is they think they should be. This identity exploration of I want to be bougie or I want to be hardcore like Django Unchained, it is in a very low risk environment. Like, what is actually the risk that Sassy is facing being exposed in her, you know, her actual self does not match everything that we've been experiencing just on a very surface, watered down level, right? Because I'm telling you, if we get deeper with it, she could possibly match and then some her attitude, but on a very surface level, seeing how she looked and, just all the things. I'm not going to get too deep into it because they already say I don't like black women, which is so wrong of people to say, but hey, they say it anyway, so I'm not going to get too deep into it. But I'm just saying the shit don't match, okay? But who cares? It's very low risk. The beef sector is a low risk environment for course correcting truth. Very low risk, because first off, people don't give a damn about the truth. So course correcting it is easy. So she's not missing out on higher experiences of life in real life because she's been exposed this way. But that sense of ownership, that sense of entitlement that she has, that sense of personality and bouginess, it's very lackluster right now. It has lost its pop. It has lost its appeal. Now, I don't know the psychological effects that may have on Sassy. We don't know, but we will find out. Don't forget that living behind an avatar, it actually reduces anxiety, right? Which is why some people can pop off. I mean, look at Pizarro, for instance. Pizarro goes ham because her anxiety levels are reduced. She's a troll and she hides behind avatars. I mean, that's wise of her. That's very, very, very smart. Now, if, Lord forbid, she ever gets exposed, the anxiety level is going to be quadrupled than that of a person that does not hide behind avatars. So Sassy's shield has been reduced, and we get to see the psychological ramifications of that. When you hide behind an avatar, or you use an avatar to boost your personality, what that tends to do is it gives you a psychological it makes your mind have a psychological sense of well-being. It does. I'm pretty sure the guy by the name of Drama, I'm pretty sure he had a psychological effects of well-being when he was Django, when he was trolling, when he was doing all kinds of shit. That avatar meant so much more to him. When Sassy's in her bag, when she's going off, when she's roasting, when she's doing this, when she's doing that, when she finally goes live and she gets 2,000, 3,000 in the chat, just like that. Or maybe not in the chat, but you know what I'm saying? Like views, just like that. Because there's 1.5 thousand people in the chat. That means something. But now the shit just don't hit the same because she can't be completely immersed within her avatar. Her avatar is cracked and we see through the cracks. All right, y'all, that is my time. I hope you guys enjoyed this show. Make sure that you tap in tomorrow as we talk about more things. You know what I mean? I will be keeping my ear to the streets a little bit. I can't watch the B sector as religiously as I used to because my life is cray cray right now. But y'all, thank y'all so much for supporting. Thank y'all so much for rocking out. Man, we had over 200 and something people up in here. Y'all, that's crazy. Yvonne A, thank you. YouTube Cameras Lemon Recap Channel, thank you. And Eyes, thank you guys so much for the donations. I really do appreciate that. Thank y'all for making my show great. Everybody in the chat, if I didn't get to say what's up to you, I'm saying what's up now to you. Thank you so much for the support. Let me get up out of here. I'll talk to y'all in the morning. I'll see y'all tomorrow morning. Have a blessed rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of this ignorant ass sector as Code Fam as we turn all the way up. Let's go. Watch us turn up. Code Fam. Watch us turn up. Yeah. People get so confused. How is this doctor in the hood? Navigate the system, refuse to let it take my mind, body, and soul. You see what's good is misunderstood. Divine got me not sold out, but walked in the fire. Develop a real team. Try tested the truth. Desire to really reach one, teach one, and learn from one. In a sector where they snake one, break one. Ain't no loyalty, niggas is fake. I see all them leaves. I got the rake, yeah. Let's go ahead and rake them up. Bag them up, yeah. Let's go ahead and bag them up. Rake them up. Let's body bag them up. What's the point when they don't play by the rules of engagement? They on that fake shit. Get it? They can't hang when the pressure cookers on top temp. That's when they resort to doxing, calling jobs in, weak-minded with weak views and tight wigs. All of their time spent watching YouTube with no riz. Kids in the background screaming for attention they don't get, for some cash apps and AdSense checks already spent. For some cash apps and AdSense checks already spent. Watch us turn up. 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 Shout out to the codification squad. Shout out to the green team. Shout out to the code breakers. Shout out to Code Fam. Watch us turn up. Watch us turn up. Watch us turn up. Watch us turn up.